Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you or teaching you guys this cool effect that you might have seen on bunch of awards winning site. When on the left, we have some list items with names of characters from Red Dead Redemption 2, which is one of my favorite games. And then on the right, we have the character image. Now, as I scroll through the site, you can see that the active item changes as well as the image changes to that specific active item. And then when you reach all the way end, um, it just fades and then hides the image as well as the list item also is no more active. Now, if you revisit, you can basically skim through the animation again. So yeah, this is a very cool and very fun way of showcasing list items in your website. So yeah, this is what we're going to be building in this video. So without delay, let's get started and let's learn to build this. Now, before starting this, the source code as well as the live link is in the description, so you guys can go and check it out. And yeah, so let's start. So here I am in my index.html file wherein I have a bunch of stuff. I have some HTML as well as CSS. Now I'll be explaining you guys in a bit what we have, but I'm just going to be first showing you how it renders. So here we have one list item and then the preview image. So for the HTML, as you can see, we have an image with the class of preview image, which has the first character as image, then the container with list wrapper, which has the list with actual list item with index as well as the name of the character. Now, here the tricky part is each of the individual list item would have the data attribute of image. So in JavaScript, as we scroll and then the list item that is active, we're gonna grab onto the data image from that, and then we're gonna be just swapping it with we basically will take that and then we'll replace this in the preview image. So that way, whichever specific heading is active, you're going to be seeing the image of that only specific list item. So there's that. I'm just going to be pasting in some other um, list items as well, just so that you can see. So we have here the entire screen getting filled. Obviously, I can't really scroll. The reason for that is because the container has a height of 100 viewport height. So, and then also overflow hidden. So it restricts me from scrolling. Now, the next thing that we will be doing is, so first I'll just explain you the CSS. So for the font family, we just have instrument serif, and then Georgia as a fallback as well as serif, and then some styling to the container list item. One thing to note here is that the list has display flex with flex direction as column, and then the gap of that is 8 pixels. Now here the gap is pretty important. The reason for that is because um, each of the individual list item would be placed 8 pixels away from the first one. So this 8 pixel doesn't really calculate or get included in that specific element's height. So yeah, you just need to remember this, because in JavaScript, I'll be again basically telling you why this is important. So there's that. And then with some styling to the list item, the last element doesn't have the border bottom, some styling to the index, heading, and then yeah, some styling for the active class for the heading as well as the index. So I can just show you in a bit. So here, if I add the active class to the fifth one, so as you can see, this has this basically translated along the x-axis a bit, as well as the color for this changed to more towards white. So there's that. So yeah, that's basically what we need for the HTML as well as CSS. Now we'll start with the JavaScript. So the first thing that we do is we check for the window.load, basically checks for all the elements getting loaded. So after everything is loaded up, you want to trigger or basically paste in the Lenis code that I got from the documentation. So this basically binds your scroll trigger as well as GSAP with the animation, and then basically gives you the smooth experience. So there's that. And then we basically grab onto the different elements that we need. So we need the list wrapper, list items, container, and then the preview image. All right. And then we calculate the height that we need the elements to be able to scroll through. So since the container is going to get pinned, we need to be able to find the height to which the entire list would basically scroll to. So to do that, we have the item height. So first we find the height of each individual item. So the way we do it is by using list items. We grab the first one, and then we grab the offset height of that specific item. Offset height includes padding as well as border, but this doesn't include the gap. So what we do is we add an extra 8 to it, just so that it adds the gap of 8 pixels to the element itself. So the list item has this height. Now to get the height of the entire list or the entire list wrapper, what we have to do is we have to multiply the list item with the number of items that we have. So we have list height times list items dot length. But here you might have seen that I have subtracted 1 from the list items length. The reason for that is because when you start off the animation, the first heading or the very top heading would always stay visible. The scroll portion is the portion that is not visible, and that is excluding the first element. So this total scroll would be the scroll that you take into account excluding the very first one. So here we need to subtract 1. Now to check the animation, we basically add a GSAP tween, which is GSAP.to method. We target the list wrapper. We basically move the list wrapper towards the top with negative total scroll with no ease. And when I save, let's refresh. You can see the container basically moves to the top. Now we just need to bind this with our animation, with our scroll trigger. So we create the scroll trigger. The triggering point would be the container, and this would start when the top of the container hits the top of the window. And then this would go on till we have scrolled till the total scroll that we just calculated. We want the container to stay pinned while we're scrolling through. And then we bind the animation with scrub of 0.8. So if you want to bind it, the initial or the usual value is 1, which basically adds the animation with your scroll with no delay. But if you have 0.8, you get this smooth sort of ease delay that makes it even smoother. So we have the scrub as 0.8. And then here we calculate the actual update. Let's first save it. And now if I scroll, you can see that the scrolling, or basically the movement of the list items, is well bounded with our scroll. Now the only thing that we have to do is, as we scroll through the list item that is active, we just need to change the class of that. So to do that, on every update, what we do is first we check for the self.progress. Self.progress gives you a value between 0 and 1, which is basically like how far you've scrolled through. If you're at the very top, the scroll progress would be 0, and if you reach the very end, it would be 1. So you basically take that, you multiply it with the number of elements that you have. Now here, the reason for subtracting -1 is because we need the index of element. Now obviously the index of elements start from 0 and end till length -1. So here we multiply that with the possible indexes that we can have, and then we just round it up to get a more natural or a whole number value instead of having decimal points. So let's just say you reach 6.2. So instead of showing you 6.2, since there's no specific index at 6.2, but there's always an index with 6, so it would round up and give you the numerical or the absolute value instead of the decimal points. So you just get the index based off the scroll position you're in, and then you take that, you run a for each to all the list items that you have. You add the class of active. So you use the toggle function and you add the class of active to the index that is equal to the active index. And now when I scroll, the index that is active gets this active class and is white in color. Hopefully this makes sense. Now the next thing that we do is we grab onto the image of that active list item and then save that as the preview image. So when I save, when I start scrolling, you can see that the image of that active list item is what is visible here. Now, after you're done leaving the container at the very bottom, what we have to do is we have to remove or hide this preview image, since we can't have this preview image show up for the entire user's experience on the website. So we need to remove this after we're done scrolling. So after I'm done scrolling, it basically hides itself. Also, we need to remove the active class from the list item. So we run again another for each. I could have only targeted the last one, but just in case, so I'm just gonna be running a for each, and I'm gonna be removing the active class from any list item if there's multiple. So I'm just gonna be removing the active class. So now if I reach the end, the animation is gone. Also, this is not active anymore. So this is all good. But if I revisit the scroller or the container, you can see that now the image is no more visible because we've just hidden the image with opacity 0. So when you again revisit, which is on enter back, you just bring the image back with this property. So yeah, this is it for this video. Hope it was fun. I bring in cool stuff like this every week. So if you haven't subscribed the channel yet, make sure to subscribe, turn the notifications bell on. We're really close to hitting 5,000 subscribers. So it would mean a lot if you guys could share this video with your fellow developer friends. Do comment down, because commenting makes the video more engaging and basically shares it with to wider range of audiences. So yeah, that would really help me a lot. So yeah, that's it for this video. Meet you guys in the next. Till then, bye bye, take care, and peace.